The dead are already here.
The Long Night was kind of one of the greatest things I've ever seen. My body is still shaking. You can actually still feel it. You can't point to one character whose story defined this episode or led to the Night King's demise, because there were three. Melisandre wasn't good and we did not trust her. But we can say one thing. She did not back down. She knew she had a role to play in the fight against the undead and that it would mean the end of her life. She'd been saying so for years.
I will return, dear Spider. One last time.
But she also could talk a pretty big game sometimes. She'd fled before when her trust in Stannis had failed her. And in this moment, as she struggled to call upon the Lord of Light with that army of wights barreling down toward her, even I'll admit, my faith was shaken. But she didn't run away. She brought light to the darkness, eventually in more ways than one.
Brown eyes, green eyes,
And blue eyes.
Everything Melisandre has done, all the missteps and all the failures, led her to a place where she could fulfill her true purpose. There's a common theme in storytelling where a character who's put everything they have into a fight gets a chance to rest. And that's what happened for Theon. In the Long Night, Theon finally confronted his fears to defend Bran, until he was the only one left. Still, he faced down the Night King, knowing he would not survive, which unknowingly gave Arya enough time to get to the Godswood. Right as Theon was about to charge, Bran stopped to do something unexpected.
You're a good man. Thank you.
This was huge for Theon. For a long time, the Starks were the only family he ever knew. But then he betrayed them, something he spent the rest of his life trying to atone for, without ever expecting to be forgiven. Bran, who Theon may have hurt the most, did not need to give him closure. But he did, and it showed a compassion that seems almost alien to the character now, given how he's the three-eyed raven. Theon also fulfilled his purpose, defending the people he cared about in the moment they needed him most. Jorah did the same thing, and now both of them get to rest. In a behind-the-scenes look at the episode, the showrunners said they've known for about 3 years that Arya would be the one to kill the Night King. That means, technically, the journey to become the baddest bitch in Westeros started the moment she stepped foot on the shores of Braavos. But really, it's kind of been Arya's destiny since the beginning. Melisandre and Theon aren't the only ones whose entire lives led up to this battle. And just look at Melisandre's face. She knows it. Bran knows it. Everybody knows it. Back when Arya was first training with Syrio Forel in Season 1, he taught her the lessons she needed to one day face down the literal god of death. How to be fearless and cunning, how to move like water, become one with your weapon, how to chase, and more importantly, how to catch. And most of all, how to treat death with respect. It's one thing to hate the Night King. Hate can only get you so far, and as we saw with Jon and Dany, that didn't work out so well. It's another to do what Arya did. She didn't hate death or fear it. She welcomed it as another part of life. But it also wasn't her time, and she knew it. That's why she could look death in the face and truly say,
"Not today."
It shows how far Arya has come, how she was the right person to finally finish off the Night King, and how her journey is far from over. This piece of television felt to me like watching Saving Private Ryan, the World Series, and my grandfather's funeral at the same time. Some characters died, others lived, perhaps a few too many. But these three did something even greater than that. They fulfilled a destiny that we didn't even know they had. Frankly, at this point, I don't even care who ends up on the Iron Throne. It could be Cersei, the pirate dude, Daenerys. Okay, maybe not Daenerys. All I care about is the Long Night. It's finally over, thanks to a witch, a sailor, and a dancer.